In this video, we'll show you how to properly adjust the throttle cables on a Harley Davidson, and this will apply to all models equipped with the dual cable system. There are several different reasons you might need to adjust your throttle cables. Those include installing a new set of grips or a new set of bars and cables. But for whatever reason, having your throttle properly adjusted will allow your bike to idle properly and make it easier for you to ride and control the throttle on your bike. So the first step is to make sure you've got a clear visual of the cables connected to the carburetor or throttle body. In most stock setups, the bell crank is located on the front side, and the adjustments can easily be made without removing the air cleaner. Since this bike is equipped with an aftermarket carb, the bell crank is actually located on the back side, so we're going to remove the filter housing and filter to better show the adjustment process. We're going to move back up to the throttle housing and make sure the throttle lock is backed all the way out. Then we're going to spray a little lube on the adjusting threads and loosen both jam nuts. When you have those loose, you're going to want to thread each adjuster back onto itself to create as much slack in the cables as you can. Once you've done that, go ahead and remove both the upper and lower screws holding the throttle housing together. With those out, you can pull the housing apart. Now we're going to apply a little lube to both cables, and now's also a great time to inspect them for any wear or fraying. And these cables look fine, so we'll go ahead and put the housing back together. Once that's done, you're ready to start making adjustments. We're first going to adjust our throttle cable, which is the front cable, and this is the one that actually pulls the throttle open. The rear cable is what we call the return cable. It's also known as the idle cable. This cable is always adjusted after the throttle cable, so we'll come back to it later in the video. So we're going to back the adjuster off to tighten up the throttle cable. And this is where you want to pay attention to the bell crank down on the carburetor. Adjust the cable enough to where the throttle opens all the way. As you can see, this one's reaching the throttle limit, so we know it's properly adjusted. Next, we'll adjust the return cable, and this is where you adjust the amount of free play in the system. Generally, you'll want about an 1/8 inch of free play, so about what you see here. When you've got that adjusted, go ahead and snug both lock nuts to secure both cables into place. If you had to remove the air filter, go ahead and reinstall that. And then before you go ride, you're going to want to turn the handlebars all the way to the left and twist the throttle. Make sure it snaps back into place. Then turn your bars all the way to the right, twist the throttle, and make sure it snaps back. If the throttle feels tight or doesn't snap right back, your cables are likely too tight and you need to readjust them a little bit until you get it right. If you have any questions about adjusting the cables on your bike, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-721-8253. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the road.